How I built Panel. So it's been about 2 years since I shared that video of my version of the smart mirror that I called Panel, and I'm going to share with you guys finally how I built it. You're probably wondering why it took me this long to share it. Well, it's because I wanted to try and start a company around it. I mean, I like money, I want to make money. Who doesn't want to make money by doing something that they're passionate about? Anyway, that all finally came to a halt, and now I'm just at the point where the idea of starting a business around it, I just kind of want to move on from it. I mean, who knows? In the near future, I might sell it as a kit rather than a full-fledged product. Another reason why I want to share how I built my version of the smart mirror is because there was an underlying issue that bothered me that I couldn't really sign off as a shippable product. Under certain lighting conditions, the smart mirror just doesn't work, and anything that gets displayed is rendered useless. It was also another reason why I didn't want to do a Kickstarter campaign, because I just didn't want to let you guys down in that way. It's really tough getting around it, and I hope some of you guys do come up with a good solution. Anyway, the build. Here's the short and simple version of it. An IR frame, a one-way mirror, an LCD monitor, and a computer. If you would rather have things flushed and not have something protruding like the IR frame, then you can always use a capacitive touchscreen panel. I ended up doing this in a later version of the smart mirror, but more about that in a different video. The platform that you saw was all designed and built by me and deployed as an OS X desktop application, meaning everything was written in Objective-C and C++. Now, the long version. Before I get into it, I would like to share a little bit about me. I absolutely love and I'm 100% passionate about building things. And for the last 10 years of my software engineering career, I'm always working on side projects. However, all of my projects have strictly been software. The mirror was the first project that I worked on where I threw hardware into the mix. Anyway, the smart mirror project all started with this article. Max Braun, an engineer from Google, built his own version of a smart mirror, and it was just absolutely beautiful. Check it out if you guys can. I'll provide a link in the description below to his build. Even though his smart mirror was amazingly well done, I felt like it was missing something, and that was having the ability to interact with it. I checked out other smart mirror projects people have done during this time, and I was able to find one with touch. Anyway, everything always starts with a prototype. The first thing that I bought was a one-way mirror from a local plastic shop and placed it up against my monitor just to get a look and feel and to see whether or not if this is a project worth pursuing. Next, I needed to be able to interact with it through touch, and so I ordered an IR frame through Alibaba.com. While I was waiting, I started working on the platform. I figured it was okay to have all the interactions through my mouse first and later switch it up to touch once the IR frame came in. I already had a list of features that I wanted to showcase and started working on them as well. Like I mentioned before, the platform was written in Objective-C and C++. Once the platform was about 30 to 40% of the way, it was now time to design the interface. This is typically my workflow. I like to bounce in and out between coding and designing whenever I'm building out a prototype. The interface design was inspired by the movie Oblivion. It worked out too because having a window or a view object whose background is completely filled ends up blocking a lot of the reflective view on the mirror. So you'll notice that a lot of the UI components throughout the panel interface contains thick borders and no background fills. About midway through building the platform, the IR frame finally came in, and because I had anticipated of its arrival, I already have a lot of the touch events implemented. So switching it over to touch was as simple as flipping a switch. Once I've got a working theme or a design that I'm okay with, it was time to move on to one of the fun parts of this build, and that was the volume controller. There was a couple of different versions that I was working with. Ultimately, I had to settle with one that was snappy and simple. Didn't have time to wait around for cool animations to complete in order to start working with the volume controller. I chose to do 2 fingers because for obvious reasons. The interactions needed to be distinctive. At this point in the build, being able to play with what I built out so far was pretty damn exciting for me and definitely boosted motivation. Once the platform and design was about 75% of the way, it was time for me to start thinking about how to demo it in my video. I really liked the way Max Braun had it in his article, and so I wanted to try and replicate a similar look and feel. So I'm going to sidetrack here for a bit. In the original video, there were a lot of comments about how everything in that video is fake and it was all done in Adobe After Effects. Well, I can assure you that it was all real but one thing. That one thing is the wall. The wall in the video is completely fake. I couldn't really demo this in my bathroom apartment because it was A, too small, and B, I wasn't allowed to drill a giant hole into it to install the monitor and computer. So I had no other choice but to build a fake wall. I searched for a local metal fabrication shop and had them build me one. I painted it and had it placed in front of a metal shelf as a standing support. I wasn't a fan of the IR frame and how it was just protruding out, so I ended up covering it up with a picture frame that I built. Once everything was all ready to go, it was just a matter of putting it all together and shooting that video, which took a lot of takes. If you notice, there weren't any cuts or breaks in that video. And that is pretty much how I built it. And now where do we go from here? Well, this is now the second portion of the video that I'm going to quickly talk about my channel. You'll notice that I renamed it from Real Gangsters Giggle to BuildHubTV. There's also www.buildhub.tv that I'm currently working on, but that'll come soon. Basically, I'm trying to start this channel or hub for building and making things. I'm going to start putting out videos as well as live streaming on a regular basis and show you guys the progress of maybe the smart mirror as a kit and other things that are related to building or making, both software and hardware. Basically, I just want to bring you guys along on this journey on how I build certain things. I am by no means an expert in the hardware space, and all I have are assumptions, and the best thing that I could do for myself is just to challenge them. I also want us to learn together. If you guys have any feedback or advice on how to do certain things the right or maybe better way, I'm all ears and will always be open to suggestions. Well, that was a lot of information, and for those of you who were able to stick around to this part of the video, thank you so much. I'm very excited about this channel and to bring you guys along on this journey. I really want us to tell a great story together, so hopefully this will be fun for all of us. Thank you for watching and take care, you guys. Bye.